Well, it may have been Freudian, but never a truer word spoken than when the last Labour member to speak said, "Can the national government please deliver our plan for us?" Because I can tell you they didn't deliver very much in their time, and that's what it takes is a team that are actually focused on delivery. And one thing we need to deliver right now for this country is growth, and that is what is key in our area, is bringing growth. And there is no better example of the lack of delivery by the last government or the growth coming to a region like I'm proud to represent in Kapiti and Horowhenua than the new expressway, which Suze Redmayne knows all about, from Otaki to the north of Levin. This is a road. In fact, the first petition I ever ran was about this road after Labour cancelled it in 2018, and I ran a petition, and we promised at the time that when we were next back in government, we would build this road, and that is exactly what we are doing. And I'm so proud. We found, of course, getting into government that all the money wasn't there. It wasn't fully funded, and Suze and I had to fight. It was the next petition was to get the right design. We've delivered that with a full interchange at Tarua Road in Levin, a full interchange at Taylor's Road in Otaki, and we are so excited to see construction start come spring. It is an opportunity for us, and Horowhenua Levin it has that real opportunity that everything coming out of Wellington passes through that little gateway of Horowhenua before it splits to Hawke's Bay, to Manawatu, to Taranaki, to Taupo and the central North Island. And that's a real opportunity for growth for us. And we see other signs, not just the road, but new subdivisions like Taraika, new housing, businesses, new businesses popping up and old businesses that are doing well. And I would like to mention Lewis Farms that took out one of the top awards at the Wellington Gold Awards recently, and congratulate all those businesses that have been selected as finalists for the Wellington Regional Awards and the Local Business and Top Shop Awards. And while I'm mentioning local people, can I also, because part of our story for growth, obviously we need to support our businesses. They are part of that story for growth, but we have some local heroes in the community. I'd like to acknowledge my youth team. It's not just one youth MP where I come from. Can I acknowledge Manit, Sam, Jack, Aroa, Christina, Harrison, Olivia, Fern, Abigail, Liam, Yelan, Charlie, Imogen, Keita, Hamish and Ryan for the great work they do, and being able to support them and see them do great things for youth, like the public safety campaign in Parapara Umu that has delivered real results, has been fantastic to be part of that. I'd also like to acknowledge some local legends and that have been recognised recently in the community awards, particularly in Horowhenua. I think of Jeff Ritchie from English Language Partners, the Kai Hub Youth Team in Shannon, one of Suze's favourites, Health Joe in Otaki, Hoanui Mananui and Steve Biddle from Hope Hub Free Store, and Tony and the team do a great job at Hope Hub. Perry Rackley from Hinamoa House, Heather Wilson at House of Science, Aja Harlan from MASH and Katrina Phillips from Plunkett. Congratulations. You deserve the recognition, but I did want to also just mention Dr. Andy van der Wyver, retiring after 40 years, serving as a GP in Levin. Everything from delivering brand new babies to end-of-life care. He's been there with us all, he's seen it all, and he deserves the accolades. And I'm proud to meet these people and to work with people like that every week. In fact, this week I had just a couple of touching stories that came back to me. One was about someone that had been waiting to get in an operation. They'd been waiting 4.5 years, and we were able to get that through. Obviously, it's not just my advocacy locally, but the focus on this government on actually delivering, putting patients first, delivering them, bringing back public health targets, and that has made a real difference for people in Levin that I have seen firsthand, for people in Parapara Umu, for people in Otaki, and I'm proud to see that. But I also think of a message I was sent from a mum, someone we helped to get the special transport they need to get their child to school on time each day, and it was described as being life-changing. And I tell you, it is a privilege to serve these people, to serve alongside them through these situations. I can make a difference as a local MP, one person at a time, and I do believe that matters, that counts. But as a government, we need to bring the growth, because it's the growth that brings the opportunities, and our future is defined by growth. The new O2NL Expressway is just one visible sign, but growth is what I'm focused on. Growth is what this side of the House are focused on, and when partnered with the community legends that I have mentioned, from my youth team through to retirees, I am confident, and it gives me confidence that our region is positioned for growth, and that will in turn bring the things that we need, the jobs, the ease and the cost of living, the housing, the health, and what a privilege it is to represent them, and how exciting to see in the spring O2NL under construction.
Ruben David.
Now, I'd just like to also point out something on there. The Otaki to North Levin Expressway has been going through the proper planning processes that started in 2021 and is going through the normal processes that you normally have when you actually start a roading project. So sitting there and trying to claim it got re-put on the agenda in 2023 is a load of crap, Tim Costley. It got taken off the agenda in 2018 because it wasn't funded. You know, like it's a bit like writing out a check but not putting the signature on it, so the merchant can actually sit there and take the payment to build the road. You know, there was no applications put down for consents. You know, so they're doing that. Now, one thing I'd like to mention on here, you have missed out on the fact that there's been a fatality less than a month after you raised after your government legislation forcibly raised the speed limit on State Highway 1 near Kuku Beach Road, which led to a fatality of a motorcyclist. The last time there was a fatality on that road, when the speed limit was 100 kilometres an hour, was on the anti-COVID protest to the parliamentary lawn. And it's interesting, when the speed limit got dropped to 80, the fatalities disappeared on the road. Not even a month after the fatalities had been lifted, after the speed limit was lifted back to 100 kilometres an hour, a fatality happened and shut down our national state highway for 3 hours. You know, for the sake of saving what would be 45 seconds. So, it was amazing you happily missed that out while bashing Labour in the process. I feel that, does that feel a bit like summaring Tim Costley's speech while criticising a fatality in his constituency?
Well, yeah, I mean, the first quarter of that speech was about just saying, yeah, whoa, we're taking credit for a road that was already going to go forward under Labour, but, yay.
Yeah.
And then he spent the rest of the speech congratulating people. So I just, it's like, there's not really much you can do in terms of commentary on that. I mean, it's like, I could go over an economic report that I read about roads, but do I need to? I mean, like, do roads lead to better economic outcomes? Sure, depends.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, also that section of road where the fatality happened is with two maraes very close to each other in there, plus the cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've driven down that road. Like, I'll be honest with you, that road at 80 km/h, yes, it is very frustrating when you have those people who do 60. But put it this way, the fatalities have gone. What would you do? Rather get stuck behind someone at 60 km/h or have the road shut down for 3 hours?
I mean, exactly. There you go. You're going fast, you crash, there you go.
The road is not designed to carry, I think it's 80,000 cars per day.
Yeah,
it's not fit for purpose. It hasn't been fit for purpose for quite some time.
Yep.
And it's because all these little developments, like, I mean, they were talking about it. It was 2010. They were still debating whether they're going to go around the east of Levin or the west of Levin for the expressway.
I was just going to say that nothing disrupts economic progress than crashes on the road. Closing down the road for 3 hours.
Well, exactly. And it's not like that. And I mean, I know a cop. If he's still working for the Levin police station, Tony Sharp, he probably was the person who attended that accident because he is the crash investigator that goes to all the accidents in the Manawatu area of for roading and policing. And it's like, so Tony probably had to go down and look at, have to work out the angles, figure out what actually went wrong with the crash. The person who the fatality is a motorcyclist, but besides the point, someone's life was lost less than a month of the speed limit being raised. For what would be the sakes of 45 seconds.
45 seconds or 3 hours waiting for the crash to be cleaned up. Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be a good MasterCard ad.
Yeah.
Raising the speed limit to sit there and say 45 seconds? What do you call it? Price or something, or something, to save that or whatever the economic cost is. And 3 hours of the road being closed, priceless.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to sit for 3 hours in a hot car?
Oh, exactly. Like, you've got nowhere to do it. And like people, going from Levin to Otaki, like that's a common cross-employment sector where people, go up and down. I mean, yeah, it's roads that I've driven. Like, I love driving those roads at 100 k's, but those roads are the traffic volume doesn't justify it being 100 k's. 80 is a much safer speed limit.
Yep.